Well, good morning. Thank you for joining me. Brand image, customer experience, customer engagement. Now, just literally popped back in the office, just having a quick cup of coffee before we go back out for clients. So just want to catch up on something with you. And I've talked a lot about it. And obviously I know I'm procrastinating on one of my books. I've talked many times in the past about the business as a baby, watching the baby grow up. Then I've started to talk about who you are, what you are, who you do it for, why you do it, and your legacy, the 5 key points of business. And I've talked about your riffy, and I've talked about your great dream and everything else. But fundamentally in business, and it came apparent this morning, you're in business because either you can do something better or you want to make money. And to be fair, there's not many people out there, and I've met quite a few. They start off with a good intention and they go, yeah, this is what we do, and they like the money, and then they get greedy. And it's the greed that worries me, because you lose sight of greed. And you're going to say, and we've got to make a profit. Yeah, there's making a profit. But in today's world, your customers, the people that are your lifeblood, the people that are paying the wages, they're paying your staff's wages. Now, you're going to hear me talk about a customer today as being the most important. Well, yeah, we know the staff are the most important people. They need to get the customers in. They need to build rapport. They need to build the relationships. Fundamentally, we get all that. Your staff are critical to the business. But, and this is where it's a big but, your customers don't know your overheads. Your customers don't really care on how much you're paying your staff. The customers don't care what your business rent are. What they do is they sit on the buttons and they look at what you do. Now, this is why I say you have to do something different. You have to be better. You have to build advocates. So let's come back to the fundamental basics. They look online. Oh, you do this. Okay. Then they type in blah, 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 blah. Where do I buy that cheaper? And they start finding round. Well, all of a sudden, they're price-driven customers. If they're price-driven customers and you're too expensive, they might come back and have a look at you again, but you've got to find a way of engaging them. Now, it's easy in the sport and the leisure sector. We make memberships up and we do what they call value-added things. And it's like, right, well, if you join us, you get this and you get this, and there's lots of value-added stuff in. But if you're not a sports business that can offer a membership, and we'll get on to memberships and giving real value for your members then. Customers are price driven, and there's a lot more on the internet. People will travel further. I was talking to a lady this morning. On recommendation, she travelled nearly an hour to go to the spa because it was recommended by a friend. Now, if you're a business and you've got clothing or you've got whatever, people go, I want to buy this. And they look where the price is, and the best price, they'll go and buy it. When you get that customer's footfall in that store or on the telephone or on the order, you have to capitalise. And I mean that, you've seen me in some flashy shirts. I've bought a flashy shirt. I get an email from them. Were you happy with the purchase? Yeah, not a problem. Okay, thank you very much. It was lovely. Please say, please can you comment on us, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. All of a sudden, then they're building a rapport with me. They haven't just sold me something and I've gone out the door. I've bought something and they've followed it up. Now, this is the most important thing I think you need to understand about customers. They're fickle. They're like lemmings. They follow like sheep. Boom. You've got to engage them. You've got to keep them coming back. You've got to entice them. But you've got to be genuine and honest and never rip them off. And I say this because obviously we just mentioned earlier in the sporting world, we can have a membership. Well, if you're going to create a membership with value. Now, I'm working with a lovely client in the spa world, and I've created memberships for them and said, look, you've got a gold, silver and bronze package. And it is something that I just spoke to a good friend this morning. It's MIB. Money in the bank. You have got money coming in the bank every month. Bash. Simple. Sorted. The more money you've got in the bank, the more money you can do, the best. The wages are going to get paid, the overheads are going to get paid, the lighting's paid. That's easy. That's membership for you. But you've got to give value. And a lot of people now work hand to mouth, and they want to have value. They want to know that they've bought into a brand, they've bought into an image, they've bought into an experience. And it's about engaging them. When you've got their money, doing something for them as a thank you. Now, you know, if you know me personally, and a lot of you do now because we're interacting, trust and thank you go a long way. You know, I've gone out of my way for a local business, really helped them, and they said, "And thanks ever so much." No problem, it's great, it's not a problem. You know, conversations come and go, business development comes and goes, and it's all about saying thank you. It's about somebody watching one of my videos and going, "And that was brilliant, you gave me some top tips. Let me get myself sorted and I'll bring you in, thank you." No problem. Your customers are the same. You say thank you, you leave them a review page, and when they engage with you, and there's an old adage in business, you know, and I can't remember the exact saying, but basically if you know, not everybody will tell you how great an experience is, but if one person takes the time out to tell you how bad it is, there's probably a lot more out there that think the same. But it's what you do with your customers. The better advocates you have, they will offset the bad experiences. Now, I need you to understand this. If you've got people promoting your business, you've got people singing your praises, you've got people recommending, they are basically an unpaid sales force. But sooner or later, you need to say, "Thank you, here's something." Now, whether that's coffee, whether that's a shirt, whether that's a jacket, whether that's a free game of golf, you need to have people to say thank you. And it's got to be a genuine thank you. Now, one of the sporting organisations I do a lot with, at Christmas, they send out Christmas cards. And you're going to say, "And what's the relevance?" 23,000 Christmas cards, all hand signed by the people in the office. Yes, it's 23,000 stamps, it goes through a little machine, but the value of that is brilliant. They put a little calendar on the back of it, because we designed a little calendar for what's happening, you know, what big events, you know, like the Jamaica Tour and the 66 Tour, whatever the golf, the big ones on the back. And we sent it out to every member, and we said, "Thank you for your business. Have a wonderful Christmas. We're thinking of you," signed by all the staff. And it's amazing that people then went, "Oh, thanks for your Christmas card." You knew they'd got it, and we've engaged with them. And then when they came in and said, "Oh, thank you for your Christmas card. How'd you get on, Mr. Jones? How'd you get on? You know, how was your Christmas? Was it good? Yeah, we've got a..." And it was just genuinely, it was an expense, but it touched so many people. Now, we're talking about building memberships. Obviously, when you've got a membership, you've got a database, and obviously the GPDR stuff, yeah, cool. But remembering that every one of your customers have a birthday. So what do you do on their birthday, their special day, the day they were born, the day they're celebrating? What do you do for them? Now, as a good business, a good organisation, you'll do something on that person's birthday, because it will come up on your computer system, you know, blah, blah, blah. It'll come up on Facebook, it'll come up whatever. There's plenty of ways of knowing that your customer, your member, your whatever has a birthday. So what are you doing for them on the birthday? Have you sent them a little voucher? Have you sent them a little, "Come in here and eat our food, the birthday boy or girl gets it free, you can come and have a meal on us"? What do you do? So what I'm trying to make you understand, and there's a lot I've thrown at you, and it's not about engaging me, it's about engaging your customer. I could be your customer. And this is one thing I want to leave you with. It's not the person you're talking to, it's the people they know. So in some respects, back in the day, used to stand in London, and I did, with the great Filofax, full of business cards and names and addresses. You weren't talking to me, you were trying to get me to open that Filofax, because they're the people in there that you want. All my friends, all my customers, all my connections. So it doesn't matter who they are, you want to go through me to get to them. Well, I'm like the gatekeeper. You always got to look after the gatekeeper. Now, every single customer is a gatekeeper to more customers. But you're going to have to say thank you to the gatekeeper, because they're going to open the gate. So bear that in mind. Obviously, a lot I've thrown at you this morning, but your customers are your lifeline. Bear that in mind. Who are you, what do you do, who you do it for, and your legacy. You grow and you develop. Have a great day. See you soon.